Okay, sorry about that. Didn't realize we had hit the 10-second mark and was paying attention to the paints, not to, the stream. So tonight is going to be a fairly short crafting stream. I was planning to do a couple things, not just one, but I have realized that I am just dog tired. So, we're going to just finish up the Kelpie tonight and then call it good. Here we go. Okay. Not even going to be doing a lot on the Kelpie. As you can see, we really don't have much left to do. Primarily the edging along here and here, the tooth, and the horn. For those, I'm actually pretty much only going to be using one color because this color looks pretty bone-like. I might go over it with a little bit of the gold, but in terms of wanting it to look like bone, or I guess it would be Denton in the case of the teeth. But yeah, this one color is pretty much a one-stop shop in terms of that. Just gotta be careful I don't go too wide on these areas that we were just trying to fill in. I got a second brush, and it is specifically to remove excess. And no, I don't normally leave my brush sitting in the paint water. That's just a temporary thing. We're not going to be doing this for long tonight. If the Kelpie dries fast enough, which I think it will, because honestly this paint on this wood seems to just like soak in almost immediately. But once it's soaked in, we might flip it over and finish up what I've been meaning to on the unicorn, but I can't even guarantee I'm going to do that tonight. This is going to be a very laid back, chill stream. We're just adding little bits of highlight here and there, basically. And then giving it this bone appearance on the horn. which I'm realizing this light might be a little too intense for that. So maybe it's... That's a bit much. Let's see. There we go. That's a bit better. Because I do want you guys to see there's actual paint going on. You really can't see much in terms of the color there because it's so close to the color of the light itself. Ah, well. You'll just have to trust me on this. It's definitely getting painted. Actually going to be a bit thick with the paint on this. Horn, because I want to cover up the pencil lines for where I drew my guidelines back before I started painting. Like, I don't mind if they're a little bit visible, because combined with the rough texture of the wood in some places, it kind of gives a, you know, like, pocked bone. Like, this is a bone that is not healthy. This is a bone that has taken some damage. It's actually giving it quite a bit of texture, which is kind of surprising given that this is acrylic paint, not oil. But depending on how that dries, that's going to look basically like sickly, possibly even cancerous bone. See if I can emulate that same on the tooth. I don't want to do it on the cheek and jaw because those are different. I want a different feel for them. There we go. Okay. We're going to give that a few to sit and dry up some. And while they do, I will work on cleaning the brushes. I'm not wearing my painting shirt today, so I don't want to get too much stuff on it, but I figure I can at least dry the brushes off on it once they've gotten the paint actually out of them. Wasn't so hard on that first brush because all it had done was, you know, swiped up a bit of the paint at the ends. That's not. I have been playing with my calligraphy pens a bit more, specifically the glass dip pen. I've been writing letters with it, and then, or postcards, I guess, and then getting those sent out. I can't address the envelopes with it yet because my penmanship with it is not good. And I don't want to risk the letter not getting where it needs to go. But for the actual inside where people can read it, yeah, I'm using the... So, there's our unicorn side, which turned out pretty darn good, I'd say. And here is our Kelpie side, who doesn't have that quite almost comic book feel that the unicorn does, but I like the more muddied texture that we've got on the Kelpie. It just feels right, you know? At some point, I had a piece of the wood that was loose, and I tugged it off, and it ripped off the paint on top of it. So at some point I will need to go and fix that. But that's going to be fairly quick and easy to fix. Mostly I'm just going to have to find a color that works as a unifying color. But that won't be hard. It's just going to be a mix of the greens and browns and stuff that I used for the initial Kelpie. Trying to think of what to fill in at least a little bit more, because this isn't even 15 minutes. It was that quick to work on this. Best I can say is let it dry a bit and then, you know, add any extra details, but I'm not really sure it has much it needs. The only other thing I was going to work on was showing you guys that pattern that I've been, well, I'm turning it into a crochet slash knitting slash cross stitch chart. It could be used as any of those by anyone, but it's just something I'm translating over into that from a drawing that I did. I used graph paper to do the drawing on, and I have since been, you know, poking away at turning that drawing. I colored the drawing so I could see what I wanted everything to be, and now I'm working on turning that into an actual chart that I can use for creating a crochet blanket square. I've already done a couple of blanket squares this way, where I took a picture, turned it into a, you know, drawing on a piece of graph paper, then translated that graph paper over into an actual picture for the blanket square. I guess I can show you guys that. Hold on just a minute. Or OpenOffice Writer can decide it doesn't want to show me anything. That works too. tell you what, here's what I'm going to do. From open. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you guys the two that are done. And then I'll show you the one I'm working on. So we're going to swap to the chatting tab while I do the switch over. Okay. So. This one is the first one that I ever did, that I made myself. This is Cheery Littlebottom from Discworld. She is a female dwarf, which is a considered a rare, non-happening thing. Doesn't really exist in the Discworld universe, or it didn't, at least, when she first hit the scene. This has the Trans Pride colors, and I tried to work with those primarily, but she kept her beard. She did not do anything like shaving it, unlike what the Watch show that came out fairly recently did. But you can see that I gave her some eyeshadow and some lipstick, and I tried very much to keep to the Trans Pride colors, except for her beard and her helmet, and of course the little bit of decoration on her beard. But still, so that one is the first one that I did. Now we're going to go back to this, and this next one is another one that I've just recently created. It is a kitten sitting on a table next to a bowl of curry with Death's staff, or scythe, nearby. Death, of course, is a very important character in the Discworld universe, and just so happens to love kittens and curry, and thinks that both of those make the world a worthwhile place to exist in. And so I thought, for this particular friend who has faced so much, I didn't want to give them something ridiculously overly optimistic when things have not felt very optimistic recently. But they happen to like the character Death, so I thought, I'll make them a reminder of what Death thinks makes the world worth existing in. And hopefully that'll help them too. Alright, back to this one. And then we have the last one, which is going to be that one. This one doesn't look nearly as good because it's not really done yet. But you can see I am working on what will eventually be Errol the Swamp Dragon. and he will be flying up into the sky, and as the body comes down here, there are going to be flames and clouds of smoke coming from his butt, because that is how swamp dragons fly. They've got wings, but they're not really that useful for the flying part. Though they're more for the steering part of flying, while they jet propel themselves with their ass. So, this is for yet another member of my Discworld Guild who, they enjoy Errol and swamp dragons in general, and I thought that they would definitely enjoy a rather, frankly, crass and crude swamp dragon image, but I really like it, and I think it's going to be really cute when it finally gets crocheted up. So, okay, well, I wanted to go at least 30 minutes, but I'm running out of stuff to talk about, and I am still really tired from doing the unexpectedly longer than planned gaming stream. And I really ran out of, I ran out of stuff for the Kelpie because I only needed to do a tiny bit. So, alright, before I can do that, I need to swap back to here. And there. Yeah, my Kelpie turned out to take a lot less time than planned. I think I might come back with white and just kind of dab it into the bone portions, or possibly white mixed with the gold to dab that in and add that in bits and bobs through the horn, but we'll just have to see how it goes. For the moment, though, I think it looks really good. I don't want to do what I tend to do and mess with it so much that it goes wrong. That's my big thing, because, I want people to feel confident in their abilities. I want to feel confident in my own abilities. And I have completely lost the plot of where I was going with that. Alright, I think that it's a good time to call it for the night. I do want to thank those who came out for this very short crafting stream. Hopefully next week I will be back on target to do longer streams. Things have been difficult the past couple weeks, and it's meant that things have been not as good as they would be otherwise. I am keeping up the Kalimba practice, by the way. I'm now making it a point to do so at least once a day. I'm drawing one small picture a day. Yesterday's picture was supposed to be a Rancor from Star Wars, but I have not seen a Rancor in quite a while in Star Wars, and so it ended up looking more like a Hutt wearing a skirt. But still, it was a drawing, and progress is progress, even if it's not quite the progress you expected. So, I do want to thank people for coming out today. I hope that you have a beautiful rest of your week, and take care of yourself, take care of each other, and be safe out there. I'll see you next Thursday for the next Saturday for the gaming stream. Bye.